What happens when human creativity reaches for the divine? When raw marble and vast ceilings become the canvas for a man who could breathe life into stone and summon the heavens with a brush. This is the world of Michelangelo Buonarroti, a name that resonates with power, precision, and a touch of divine inspiration. Born during the High Renaissance, Michelangelo's work wasn't just art. It was a declaration of the human spirit's majesty. Whether carving out the defiant form of David or painting the heavens on the Sistine Chapel ceiling, Michelangelo's genius captured both the physical and the spiritual. But what made his art so powerful? And how did his exploration of the human form redefine the boundaries of sculpture and painting forever? Let's explore the journey of a man whose hands seemed to be guided by the gods. Born on March 6, 1475 in Caprese, Italy, Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni showed promise early. He grew up in Florence, a city alive with artistic energy. Unlike Leonardo da Vinci's wide-ranging curiosity, Michelangelo's passion was focused and intense. He considered himself a sculptor above all else, famously declaring, "I saw the angel in the marble, and carved until I set him free." At 13, he apprenticed with the painter Domenico Ghirlandaio, but quickly moved on to the Medici family's sculpture gardens, where he studied under the patronage of Lorenzo de' Medici. This early exposure to classical statues and the intellectual energy of Renaissance Florence would shape his entire career. Michelangelo believed the human body was the ultimate expression of beauty and strength. He saw in the body a reflection of the divine, an idea deeply embedded in the Renaissance celebration of humanism. His sculptures were not just representations, they were revelations. The David, completed in 1504, is a perfect example. Standing 17 feet tall, this masterpiece captures a moment of poised tension before battle. Every muscle, every sinew, is carved with such precision that it feels alive. Michelangelo's David was more than a biblical figure. It was a symbol of Florence's defiance and potential. With his confident stance and piercing gaze, David embodied the courage and intellect of the Renaissance itself. While Michelangelo considered himself a sculptor, one of his greatest achievements was in painting. In 1508, Pope Julius II tasked him with painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City. Michelangelo reluctantly accepted, believing himself unworthy of such a task. But the result was a masterpiece that would redefine Western art. Over 4 years, he painted over 300 figures across 12,000 square feet. The scenes depict stories from the Book of Genesis, culminating in the iconic creation of Adam, where God and man's fingertips almost touch. The figures, muscular and dynamic, seem to leap off the ceiling. Michelangelo's use of color, perspective, and anatomical accuracy created a vision of the divine that was both awe-inspiring and deeply human. Creating the Sistine Chapel ceiling was a physically and emotionally grueling process. Michelangelo worked on scaffolding, often lying on his back for hours, paint dripping into his eyes. He described the agony in a humorous poem, lamenting his twisted body and aching muscles. Yet despite the pain, his vision never faltered. The sheer ambition of the project reflects Michelangelo's relentless pursuit of perfection. He didn't just want to paint a beautiful ceiling, he wanted to create an experience that brought viewers face to face with the divine. His struggles remind us that greatness often comes at a cost, but the results can be timeless. Another of Michelangelo's masterpieces, the Pietà, reveals a different aspect of his genius. Completed when he was just 24 years old, this sculpture depicts the Virgin Mary cradling the dead body of Jesus. Unlike the heroic tension of the David, the Pietà is a study in grace and sorrow. Mary's serene expression and the delicate rendering of Jesus' lifeless form convey a profound sense of peace amidst grief. Michelangelo's skill in capturing both human emotion and divine serenity makes the Pietà a masterpiece of tenderness and strength. It's the only work he ever signed, perhaps a quiet acknowledgement of the perfection he had achieved. Michelangelo was a perfectionist, often dissatisfied with his own work. He left many sculptures unfinished, as if frozen in time, struggling to escape the marble. This non finito technique reveals the artist's process and his belief that art was never truly complete. For Michelangelo, the act of creation was a divine struggle, a constant attempt to reveal the truth hidden within the stone. This relentless pursuit of perfection inspired not only his contemporaries, but generations of artists who followed. His work embodies the belief that through art, we can touch the divine. Michelangelo lived to the age of 88, an incredible lifespan for his time. His later years were marked by continued work as an architect, overseeing the construction of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. His contributions to sculpture, painting, and architecture defined the High Renaissance and left a legacy that shaped Western art. He was celebrated in his own time, a rare achievement for any artist. But his influence didn't end with his death in 1564. His works continued to inspire the Baroque artists who came after him, and his reputation as a master endures to this day. Michelangelo's art reminds us of the heights that human creativity can achieve. Whether it's the resolute gaze of David, the celestial grandeur of the Sistine Chapel, or the tender sorrow of the Pietà, his work invites us to ponder our own potential. He blended the physical with the spiritual, the earthly with the divine, creating art that speaks to the core of human experience. His genius lay not just in his skill with a chisel or a brush, but in his understanding of what it means to be human. Michelangelo's journey through sculpture and painting is more than a story of artistic mastery. It's a testament to the endless possibilities of human creativity. He invites us to look beyond the surface, to see the divine potential within ourselves and the world around us. As we stand before his works today, we are reminded of the power of art to transcend time, to elevate our spirits, and to connect us with something greater. In Michelangelo's hands, marble and paint became vessels of wonder, a legacy that continues to inspire awe and curiosity generation after generation.